Hello everyone, what we're looking at is the 2 week ago launched WalkSnail of Avatar HD Camera V2. Of course, it's attached to a V2 VTX, which I did kind of a review on the VTX and the HD Pro camera when it launched here 2 weeks ago or so. And I was hesitant to post this, but one very good reason to post this is for those that are the most discernible or the most scrutinizing individuals, you may want to have seen the HD camera in the same space. So if that was a barrier for entry or something you were interested in, voila. So this camera actually does proper 4:3. So that is another aspect or reason why someone might want to investigate this camera over the Pro camera. The Pro camera is native 16:9. Of course, I've got a review on that, as I mentioned, and I'll link that down in the video description if you would like to go watch that to get that side-by-side comparison. Maybe you have two monitors in your viewing place, and you can pull up both videos and use the pause button in YouTube to kind of discern which one has the better image. Of course, the Pro camera is got night vision, and it does actually surprisingly well. That was something that caught me off guard, and that's something that I think if you're watching this and you're looking at cameras for specifically for the WalkSnail Avatar system, you're really probably looking at three. One's the nano camera, one's the HD camera, one's the Pro camera. Big difference. The nano camera is the lightest, smallest, so has a micro guide. That's one that I have bought a few times already. Then we have the HD camera, which is what you're looking at in the image, which we'll look at 16:9 here in just a moment. And then you have the Pro camera. You can also get the VTX in 8GB and 32GB versions with or without the gyro data logging ability. Gyro data would be used for smoothing out your video just a touch more using a program like GyroFlow. And in my original HD Pro, I also have lens profiles linked in the video description of that video for the lens profiles for GyroFlow. Let's move forward into our 16:9 view. I don't want to take too much of your time here because I don't think that's as valuable as one might think because we're going to be looking at the same things time and time again. I will tell you I took it outside and I did do a nighttime test with this back when I used to do a lot of analog camera tests, which we don't really do much anymore. It seems as though that's something that we haven't seen a lot of development in analog cameras. There's been a smattering of them, but really none that anyone's ever asked for reviews to my knowledge. So but anyways, I did take it outside, and you'll see a little clip from that. If you're interested at all in flying at low light or dark, then the Pro camera for the Avatar system or the WalkSnail system is going to be what you want to do. Of course, all this is recorded directly onto the VTX, so we don't have any over-the-air breakup or transmission breakup or deterioration of the image. The price difference between the HD camera and the Pro camera, both V2s, is $6. So that's something else, we have to weigh, as well as the price difference between the 8GB version of the VTX and 32GB version of the VTX. Last I looked, I don't have it in front of me, I apologize. I think the difference was like $10. Gyro data on and off, I don't think had a price difference actually. It was just the size of the storage. So some things to weigh out as far as our budgets go with building WalkSnail Avatar HD quads, or when considering the price of bind and flies, even these things will come into play. I have yet to see a bind and fly with the full-size camera in it, but that's not surprising because I do micros, so 3.5-inch prop or less, and I'm gonna try to make sure I'm much more rigid about that in the coming year. I don't want to be doing any more 4-inch, or if I'm mistakenly sent a 5-inch, then I'll just send it back, because I don't know, I always get confused, and I don't feel like that I should be reviewing anything larger than 3.5-inch. Okay, here is a little shot of our nighttime footage, and you're sitting on the porch. If you saw the WalkSnail Avatar HD Pro camera, you will notice a dramatic difference. This is not flyable, it's not seeable. You can't even really tell what's going on. You see kind of a dark movement, that's me moving around, and you've got some pretty wide halo effects around the lights. Yeah, I even tried it with the porch lights on a little bit to see if that would help. Of course it helps. More light always helps, right? So that was just something that I did to show us the difference between no light, that I don't have porch lights on at all, and some porch lights to give us something to look at other than darkness. All right, the Avatar HD V2 camera with its cable. Comes in just a touch over 8 grams. Of course, it's got a metal backing, or at least I believe this is all metal. It's probably aluminum of some sort, so not a strongest of metal, but metal is better than plastic oftentimes. And we've got screws in the corners of everything here. And then we've got our arrow at the very top indicating which side is up when we mount our camera, which I appreciate that. I couldn't tell you how many times I've mounted an HD camera upside down and then had to reverse it. I like to actually physically reverse it rather than reversing it or flipping it in the camera settings. We've got 2 mounting holes here along the side, which is quite handy. I needed that in my test rig for the flights that I showed you. Let's get the calipers and do some measurements. Get just about 19 millimeters top to bottom. Side to side, just about the same as you would expect. Front to back, looks like almost 22 millimeters. Size of the lens is 14 millimeters. From the top to that screw hole looks to be 6 millimeters. Bottom looks to be about the same. And the length of the cable looks like about 126 millimeters. Of course, if you are actually flying a micro, something like this, I certainly recommend going with a nano camera over something like this. I think this camera, as well as the Pro camera, is probably best suited for 3-inch and above. You could probably fly it on a 2-inch just fine, along with the larger VTX. If your flight preference isn't performance, you're just wanting to kind of explore and you want to get a better image that you can get with a larger camera, or you want to get a further transmission range that you can get with a larger VTX with the metal casing and heatsink. So I would definitely recommend the nano camera and the 1S VTX if you're building a micro. But if not, this should be considered, I presume. And if you, again, I do have the Pro V2 reviewed on the channel, and I'll have that link down in the video description down below. But I wanted to show you this video mainly because just showing it in my space as I did with the Pro V2 camera, I thought it was important for anyone that might be doing a comparison, wanting to see it in the same space. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or otherwise, please let me know in the comments section below. I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching. If I sounded a little funny in this video, yeah, I caught COVID about a week ago, and I'm still getting over kind of the last little bit of symptoms, so I've got a little bit of what you might call head cold. But I missed everyone, and I've been bored. I wanted to make a video.